Hello people, my Realme GT 5G survived a clinical death, no kidding. And I will also tell you how to activate 120Hz in a minute in all applications and why it's not worth doing. Well, we will expose a couple of myths. Make the right choice. This phone in yellow color is more better than the similar phone in another color. The first reason is that due to the fact that the case material is eco leather, the camera sticks out less, which means that when you're tapping on keyboard at the moment when the smartphone is on the table, it wobbles less. The second does not scratch in the pocket about dust and about the air, like his brothers made of glass. Heating is felt several times less due to the heart-trapping features of eco leather. One nuance: the conversation speaker is not located quite well. It's not directed as usual, like this, but at this angle. You will need to get used to it. And the smartphone looks amazing. It's not like the others. It's a pity that I cut this sticker from the Poco M3 Pro phone kit, although it would fit this smartphone more. How to enable 120Hz in all applications? Mark a minute and I will be in time. Now you see YouTube. Check left upper corner. You see 16 FPS. Then I download application set edit, open it, press OK if it needs. Then I search for this name of parameter, choose it and write value 1. Open YouTube again and now I get 120Hz in all applications. But why shouldn't you do that? For example, the game I played all the time is football, and the game process itself begins to happen faster than necessary. Therefore, developers limited the display of exactly 16 frames in their applications for a reason. This phone have DC dimming, but I didn't use it when I take this video. Therefore, the display sometimes flickers. Full HD Plus resolution, sorry, not 2K, but the matrix is AMOLED of medium quality because black colors sometimes turn gray. The display size is 6.43 inches and my not favorite aspect ratio is 20:9. I like when the phone have 80:9 ratio. In fairness, I will say that the smartphone fits perfectly in your hand, due to the tenacious eco leather and plastic frame that does not slip, which feels not budget friendly but like in the iPhone 30 Pro. Also, do not forget about the headphone jack, and the same wired headphones are included. There is stereo sound. It sounds worse than flagmans for 700s or more, but a little different is annoying. The conversation speaker is slightly quieter than the main one. Therefore, the stereo effect is shifted to slightly to the right side. I'm sure that each of you concerned about the issue of heating and throttling, because this Realme GT 5G is the cheapest smartphone with a Snapdragon 888 on board. First, in the throttling test, the phone deals 30-35 thousandths Jeeps at the maximum peak and 232 thousandths Jeeps at the minimum peak. After the test, I open AIDA application to check the temperature, and there are only 52 degrees, which is acceptable. Yes, the processor is throttled, but when I use it for 3 weeks with it, I never felt discomfort and loss of some part of performance. I have never been bothered by the heating either. The RAM in my version is 8GB and the internal memory is 128GB, and the RAM cannot be expanded. The slot is only for 2 SIM cards. Therefore, immediately think about how much memory you will need. The speed of RAM is 47,000 MB/s, and this is a record for a smartphone for a price like this. How did my Realme GT survive a clinical death? I was in a wild panic. I was covered in a cold sweat. I tried to resuscitate him. I didn't have time to take him off at that moment. What happened? The phone was just lying on the table. It vibrated upon arrival of notifications. It functioned, but the display didn't show anything. In general, I poked at different places of the display. I was even able to unlock it and turn on music, but the display didn't show anything at all. I performed a hard reboot, holding the lock button and the volume up button for 8 seconds. And it came to life. How glad I was that I did not lose my $300. The fingerprint scanner is built into the display and it's probably the fastest scanner I have ever used. Spit in the face of someone who says that he is inconveniently located. I can hit it without looking. Very convenient location. Face unlock is also available. One of killer features is its 65-watt charge. From 0 to 100%, Realme GT 5G charged in 34 minutes. Battery power is 4500 mAh. I did the test myself. I put the smartphone for charging when it was only 1% and timed it. After 33 minutes it was 100% charged, even 2 minutes earlier when with it. The Realme company knows what it is doing. Realme GT does not live long, about 5 to 6 active display. In other words, it is enough for one working day. But there are two very important nuances. The first is the myth that if a smartphone charges quickly, it also discharges quickly. It is nonsense. If the smartphone takes longer to charge, then why should it work longer? Will the battery capacity increase? Secondly, it is necessary to turn off the smartphone night charging, because at the right moment the smartphone will charge for 2 hours instead of 30 minutes. Now let's talk about Realme GT 5G cameras. Spoiler alert, I want to change my Google Pixel 5 to this yellow brother. The main camera received 64 megapixels, ultra-wide 8 megapixels and macro 2 megapixels. Let's compare the capabilities of the Google Pixel 5 and Realme GT 5G in different conditions. Immediately about color rendering. Both shots missed. The original color was somewhere in the middle. If we zoom in, then the Pixel took a less noisy picture, based on what you will see next. For example, here, Realme Coupe much better, the picture is clear. If we zoom in, we will see that the dynamic range is wider for Realme. The noises are the same. Now there is a shadow, a light scan. There is enough light. Noise reduction in Realme overdid it and did it like this. Pixel details is better. At that moment I realized how the algorithm works for Realme and I will tell you about it. In the meantime, let's talk about Tverskaya Street. The focus was put on the plate in both cases. The dynamic range is again wider at Realme, but the detail went for the work. Now night mode. Realme GT is overdoing it again and taking too light picture. And if we zoom in, then the dynamic range has sharply become wider at the Pixel 5. Life hack is that you need to reduce the brightness in automatic mode and the photos become much better and clear. And what if I put JCam on the Realme GT 5G? It may show that the photo on the right was taken by Pixel, but no, it's really Realme GT plus JCam. If we zoom in, then the stock is a little noisier, but a clearly picture, and I like this one better. And now there is a point again. The dynamic range is still lame. Only the processing algorithm differs, and these algorithms change the real colors into non-natural ones. And it's always better to do it a little darker in the automatic mode. This is the result you will get if you master a stock camera, but this is if you get to know JCam. Similar photos you can take from ultra-wide camera, but this one is on the macro camera. The result is below statistical. This is example of video 4K 30 FPS, and this is my dog. His name Ben. Just hear the sound of microphones.
Кстати, 4К 30 кадров в секунду. И послушайте звук, который пишет данный телефон. Мне кажется, что он пишет очень паршиво. Бен, пойдем. Realme Narza 30 намного лучше писал звук. Бен, пошли. Пошли. О, видите как сработал видос.
When you use the frontal camera, you can use double modes, ultra stabilization and this bokeh function. But when you use main camera, you must choose bokeh function or ultra stabilization. Lags and features. For some unknown reason, when I open the control panel, the icons that are visible only in an expanded form blinked. About some features. There is Ultra Vision. This function is from Oppo company, it completes the frames. There is also a double tap wake up and stay on the lock screen when unlocking the smartphone by face. Notifications come by default, but in order for the screen to turn on, you need to turn it on in the settings. Vibration feedback is amazing, a cool experience, better than in the Asus Zenfone 8, although it's cost several times less. But the best vibration output is in Huawei Mate 40 Pro and Pixel 5. Is it worth talking this without exaggeration, the most wonderful smartphone from the company Realme GT 5G. Friends, let's take an object look at things. The smartphone costs $300. It has the best processor from Snapdragon, which is not very sexyful, but still gives out its power and keeps at the level of 870 Dragon. Flagship 65-watt charging plus a very cool camera, and you get all of this for accessible money. And also this case, which cannot be damaged. The disadvantages I would attribute only the ultra-wide camera for 8 megapixels. It was necessary to put at least 12 or 13, and in all other aspects it is an uncompromising phone. Merci, good luck, bye.